Yo, what is going on, everybody? You beautiful people of the internet. It is your boy Technoid here, Michael here from Technoid. What is going on, everybody? It is great to be back on live tonight. I hope you all are doing well. Hope you all are staying safe. What is going on? We got a group night tonight. We got a lot of cellular news to cover and a lot of things to talk about. Now, of course, tonight's live episode is again focused heavily on cellular plans, also cellular things. And of course, we do have a special guest coming in soon. They will be here in a little bit. It looks like they're running a little bit late, but no worries. We will take care of it from there. But welcome back, everybody. It is great to see all of you. It is great to have everybody here tonight. So let's see who we got in the house tonight. We got Kaizy in the house. Good to see you, my man. Kimon, it is great to see you as always, my brother. Tom, what is up? Great to see you. Blue-Eyed Tech, great to see you, my man. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Sean Robinson, great to see you, Sean. And it looks like I'm so caught up already. Alrighty, well, listen, guys. We do have a special guest coming on tonight. I am not going to reveal the guest until they arrive backstage. I am going to let them know that we are live right now, so that way if they're just joining in, we'll get them in. But tonight, again, we are focusing on cellular. We are going to talk a lot about T-Mobile, the C-band auction, and show the maps of where it affects the, excuse me, guys. We're going to show how it affects each carrier, most notably all three of them. And then we'll discuss after that, we'll talk a little bit about some of the plans with third parties and other, post-paid, prepaid. We'll talk about all those tonight. So while we wait for our guest, I just want to give a quick shout out, a couple of shout outs. Shout out number one, I want to thank Rogue Energy for being a proud partner of the Technoid channel. As you guys know, Rogue has been very kind enough to partner with our channel here at Technoid. So I want to thank them for their continued support. And I have a brand new announcement. It's just been revealed. Rogue has given me permission also to say this because they've already published it publicly. They have a brand new design. They are redesigning their tubs. They are redesigning everything. All new, fresh designs with the same great tasting flavors, but they've expanded their lineup. So now they have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 new flavors. So guys, go on over to Rogue Energy, check them out. Check out any flavor. I personally recommend the strawberry kiwi. I love me some strawberry kiwi. We also got cookies and creams, fruit punch. We got so many things. So make sure that you guys check out Rogue Energy. Use the promo code Technoid. Save yourself 10% off. And of course, get your hands on that brand new looking delicious tub. Kind of reminds me of a chew toy candy. But anyway, guys, it seems our guest is backstage. We will bring them in just 1 second. Another quick notable shout out is also, guys, if you enjoy these podcasts, make sure you hit the like button, share the video out with all your friends and family on social media. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you do not miss when I upload. Thank you, Kaizy, for putting my affiliated link in the description. That is the promo code there as well. So again, guys, check it out. And without further ado, let's start this show. So we got our special guest in tonight that's going to help me out here talking cellular. We're going to go into a lot of detail. We're not going to go for too long. We're not going to really break boundaries tonight, but I am thrilled to reveal the guest of honor tonight. This individual has been on my channel already. This is her. Oh, God. I'm terrible at spoiling. Okay. It slipped out. She's been on my channel 2 times. Let's bring her in. I spoiled this surprise. I'm such a terrible. It just slipped out. It's like, oh yeah, she's been like.
It's okay. I still love the introduction. That was terrific. I thank you for it. I love it.
Well, what can you do? Let's move on. Hey guys, it's Sherri, and it's great to have her on tonight. She will be joining me. We're going to be talking a little bit, and also, guys, quick shout out. Nathan's. If you guys are in New York, check out Nathan's. There's some great food out there, so definitely check that out. Just fixing us some stuff. But alrighty, it looks like we're all set to go. We are ready. So Sherri, thank you once again for joining me tonight. I appreciate you taking your time out to help me out on tonight's episode.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Sorry, I was a little late. Crazy week. My goodness, lost track of time.
No worries. It's all understandable. I've been having a rough week as well, so I completely understand. It's fine, and I get it. We're all busy. We're working and stuff, and I do see there's a little bit of a lag on my end. Maybe it's just the internet. Are you using Starlink, or are you using a T-Mobile internet? What are you using?
I'm using Cox.
Oh, that explains everything.
Oh, let me try something real quick.
No worries. It's not bad. We can hear you. We can see you. But I just want to say, but you're good so far. But let's kind of get right to it. I've already spent 7 minutes, so let's get to it. So we're gonna cover a couple things tonight. Number one, we're gonna. Kaisi is in over here laughing at why he goes, "Wow, Cox Cable." There's a reason why South Park parried that.
It just sounds bad. No matter how I can say it, it just sounds. We are.
Anybody could say it with a wiffle ball bat, and it still wouldn't sound good. It's just the way it is. Also, guys, a lot of you guys are enjoying my new attire that I wear. This is just me being myself, and everybody seems to like these neon throwback shirts. So I'm gonna be bringing them to the live stream more if it helps energize the live streams. But anyway, let's get on topic. So stories we're going to cover tonight. We're going to talk about the T-Mobile Magenta Max video that you made. We're going to talk about the plan itself. We're going to kind of talk about if it's a very good value for customers. We're going to talk about how it's added to the unlimited 55 and older. Then we're going to talk about the results of the C-band auction. I was given a chart by PA Tech. Shout out PA Tech. He's giving me a breakdown of where C-band is going to be affected in the United States with all carriers. I'll be showing them off in the stream here. And also, we will then discuss postpaid and prepaid plans like US Cellular, Mint Mobile, things like that. So let's get right to it. Story number one, Magenta Max. So it's no surprise, guys. Magenta Max has been one of the biggest news going on right now. There he is, man of the hour, PA Tech. Thank you for stopping by. You're going to be very helpful to me tonight. But yeah, Sherri, I watched your video. I know the last time I told you I hadn't been watching a lot, but I've been getting into your channel. I've been getting into a lot of new YouTubers like Tech Life, Tyrone, and a lot of other YouTubers. And I watched your video about the Magenta Max. I've listened to what you had to say. You had a little bit of positive things. There also some concerns. But I wanted to talk about this because I've already talked about it on Steam Mobile Tech's channel. I've given my input. You've given your input. So I kind of, instead of like, for most people watching, kind of just brushing up, let's just get straight to it. We don't have to really pedal around it. So Magenta Max. So this is the new breakdown. This is what you would expect with auto pay for one line. They start you off with 3, which is kind of deceiving, but hey, that's how they get you. You can go up to 8 lines, which is insane. Now you can see the comparisons for yourself. The Magenta got a little bit of a boost. They got boosted from 50 gigabytes to 100 gigabytes, which is still premium data in their words. Sorry. Whereas the Max is unlimited, no throttling, speed. You can do exactly what you want. You do get Netflix, but you can get the standard version instead of the basic, so you can get 4K content as well. Taxes and fees are included. You get 40 gigabytes of 4G LTE hotspot, and of course 4K streaming with unlimited video streaming. So Sherri, I gotta ask, what's the catch? There's got to be a catch in everything. What is the catch?
I just don't know if T-Mobile can really offer truly unlimited data, premium, unthrottled data to as many people that will either upgrade to this plan or eventually switch to T-Mobile to get this plan. I don't think it's realistic. I think we'll see a cap on this can happen. I don't have faith. I don't have faith that this plan will stay it is for an extended period of time.
And I'm going to tell you why. I agree with you because Carlos, I don't know if you've known Carlos, Snee's best friend. He's one of our good members of the Technoid channel. He got his Magenta Max plan, and already within 24 hours of use, congestion was spotted. Yeah. And it was bad. And even PA Tech said he had it and he downloaded a bunch of test files, and it turned out it was on the live stream. He explained that it took for almost forever, and this is supposed to be their top tier big plan.
Yeah, I think the idea behind it is nice. Like the idea of like truly unlimited premium data, that sounds like magic. And then also having like 40 gigabyte hotspot, that's pretty impressive. But it's one thing to say you're the best and to say you have the best plan, but if you can't actually back that up with like actual speeds, and then what's the point? So I'm expecting some drama to come from this plan.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been having problems tonight. I don't know. But yeah, there have been a lot of deprioritizations on the network already within 24 hours of this plan becoming a thing. And even though there is a lot more value added in the Magenta Max, for example, you get premium security, which is included. So that's a nice feature. You can have the best value in a plan, but if the performance is not going to be up to par, I don't see how you can justify going to this plan. And some people have made the case that sticking to your like traditional plan that you have now, if it's grandfathered or honored legacy plan, it's cheaper and gives you the same experience. Maybe not as much as value, but you still get the same experience. So my next question would be, what do current existing users do in this situation? Because you have two options. You can keep your current plan if they're going to honor it until they can't honor it no more, or you could do the upgrade, get more value, but you're going to see the same performance depending on what you're using. What would you have to say to those users?
I would say hold off on upgrading to Magenta Max if you're on Magenta Plus. Magenta Plus is still, you get premium data. You still get 50 gigabytes of premium data plus a 20 gigabyte hotspot. You know you're not going to be throttled at that point with Magenta Plus or Magenta. So let me look at this. If you're on Magenta Plus, stay on Magenta Plus. Do not upgrade to Max. If you're on the old Magenta, upgrade to the new Magenta and get a little bit more data and a little bit more hotspot, and it's still the same price, and you still have a premium data. And it's not going to be throttled. It's what, 100 gigabytes? Stupid. So yeah, I would say if you can upgrade to Magenta, do that, but don't go to Max. It's not it, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'd rather take the Magenta plan over the Max plan because you're getting pretty much, you're getting almost close to unlimited, because 100 gigabytes is incredibly huge. Nobody's ever gonna use that 100, unless of course there is that one individual. And if you are that individual, then go for the Max. But for everybody else, the general consumers, like the average everyday person, Magenta is gonna be fine. I don't think it'd be terrible.
Right.
But one of the users in the live stream, shout out Jar Cohen, he says it's a misleading plan. T-Mobile, oh no, lawsuit maybe. Wait a month or two maybe to get the Max plan. It's possible. We could probably see that in a couple of days. The biggest scandal in all cellular technology.
What I have actually a hot take here. Maybe it's not too much of a hot take, but if you're on Magenta Plus right now and you want a better plan and you want it to be cheaper, downgrade to Magenta. You get more data and you get more hotspot, and it's cheaper. So, and you still have the Netflix account with 2 or more lines. So if you're on a family plan, then it's great and you don't lose anything. And if you all you do is gain if you downgrade from Magenta Plus to Magenta. So I think that is another great option for people too.
Here, I'm gonna pull up here. Oh, actually, I already had the charts here. If you guys don't know, because a lot of people get misconception because of the marketing, Magenta and Magenta Max are only different because of that quote-unquote unlimited. There's throttling. But here's the thing. Maybe 17% of Americans in this country ever go past 100 gigabytes of data. That means they have to be using LTE solely. Solely. That's 17%. Everyone else is on Wi-Fi. Everybody else is using something else. And for me, you're right, because you get the basic Netflix, but here's the thing. When you upgrade your plan, you're going to be paying for the premium. It's a known fact that customers are opting to pay the extra $3 to get the premium plan, and they include that $3 on their bill. So that's the same thing you would do with Magenta Max. Even though it says standard, you're still going to have to go for the premium if you want Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, all that great stuff. So you're 100% right. I don't think we have to really debate there. But I would go a step further and say, if you can hold off for as long as you can, try to milk it for what you can get it, because they're not going to deprio you off the network anytime soon, because, the only time they'll deprio you is if it's like a huge grandfathered plan that goes back maybe 10 years.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, I think the best plan available that's realistic. Like obviously, in theory, the best plan is Max from T-Mobile, but in reality and in practice, I think their best plan right now is Magenta, and it's cheaper, and you still get a ton of data. So I think Magenta is probably the best plan on T-Mobile right now.
Absolutely, 100% agreed. No disagreement there.
What?
So what's up?
Sorry. I was just exclaiming, and I'm not going to.
Okay. You know what? You don't have to explain it. I'm starting to feel old now, so you're gonna have to excuse my hearing if it's starting to go.
No, it's also my internet, so we can play.
Nah, it's okay. I know exactly what you meant. It's all right. But another thing though, that there is a positive in all of this, which is our segue into the next story, is the 55 and older. Now, I've been on record being a huge voucher for the 55 and older community, as I have family, friends that are family, and also people that I've known in my life that are over 55, retired or working. And I'm a huge voucher because they're your long-term customers. So I believe it's important to prioritize your long-term customers over the short term. And T-Mobile did just that. They not only boosted the Magenta plans by keeping it up to date. They added in the Magenta Max while keeping it the same price point. And on top of that, they've tweaked the plan so you can now add up to 2 extra lines. So you can have a family plan with the 55 and older. So if you're a grandma and a grandpa, you can have your grandkids on there. Or if you're a mom and dad of that age, you can get your kids in there. And it includes the Netflix, unlimited in-flight Wi-Fi. If you travel outside of America, you get the premium. It's all on here. They gave you everything. And I got to give T-Mobile some credit here. Where I do like to talk a lot of crap and I do like to joke around here and there, I got to give them credit where credit is due, because they're the only ones that are treating their 55 and older community a lot better than what I've seen from at&t and Verizon. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. Shout out Carlos. He is in the house. Carlos, what's up, my man? It's great to see you tonight. There goes to, hey, look at Sherri over there going, go get a thumbnail. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm such a mean person. I'm a mean dude.
It's okay. I can handle it.
Hey, look at it this way. The last guy I had on my show, Steve Bubble Tech, he couldn't handle it because his eyebrows were fading. So I got him. Boom. He's going to kill me right after this show. I'm going to see messages in my... He'll be saying, pull up in a CLE. We'll see if you say all that. Yeah, man. I'll say it right to your face.
Them's fighting words.
Fighting words. But getting back to the 55, I want to ask you, I already said that I'm a huge supporter of the 55 and older community, being that, like I've said, my back history. How do you feel with them doing this? This is a positive, negative. What do you take away from this?
Yeah, I mean, I need to look into it a little bit more. I am, but from what I've seen and read, it's only a great thing. It's only a good thing. And what, T-Mobile says that they are the uncarer, right? They say they're like new and different and they are going against the grain. And you do see that often with T-Mobile. You see it backfire sometimes, lots of the time. But I think this is one of those times where it's a really good thing. And I think they're putting a lot of competition into the market, and potentially Verizon and at&t will have to follow suit if they want to compete with their 55 and older plans.
Mm-hmm. And I will tell you this much, when my mother and I, when we were together with T-Mobile, they didn't offer this much value versus what they're doing now. That was one of the reasons why my mom switched to Verizon, because they still believed to them, T-Mobile, that they didn't really treat us like, my mom, because she had been with T-Mobile back since the 90s, before they were even called T-Mobile. My dad was even earlier, 80s, early 90s, when things were just beginning, before they became T-Mobile. So he kind of felt that, they weren't really valuing the long-term customers, and it kind of got them upset. That's why we're over with Verizon now, and Verizon's Verizon. It's a little expensive, but they do have a 55 and older plan. My mom is eligible for the plan. She can get it. She does technically reside in Florida. She just opts not to. She just likes New York a lot more. But she can get the plan. But the problem is that plan is limited to certain states, whereas T-Mobile, it's nationwide. Anybody can get it. Anyone can access it. I think Verizon is slowly rolling it out. I think they're in the process of rolling it out. But the plan is a very dated plan. And I'm going to pull it up here real quick, the Verizon page. Because if you go onto the Verizon website and you take a look at what Verizon's offering, it's the same thing they've been offering since 2018 when they debuted this plan. So I'm going to pull it up right here.
Yeah,
and I want you to tell. All right, here it is. So a couple of things. Number one, they did not change the plan details. So it is a lot more affordable, especially for senior citizens with 2 lines. But here's the thing. If you were to get this plan, the only option you have is Florida. It doesn't give you any options for any other state. You can't access it in New York. You can't get it in North Carolina. You can't get it in Florida. Well, Florida's the only place. However, though, they're misleading, because on the website here says unlimited 4G LTE data, talk and text, DVD quality streaming, which is 480p, depending. But then if you go to the FAQ, 55 and plus, I'm going to pull it up here. It's loading right now. Here we go. It says here that you get access. Where is it? Where I saw it? Here. You get access to 5G nationwide data. Now, why isn't that on the website? Why is that not put in notifying that you get 5G access? Even if it's DSS, maybe not a millimeter wave, but why is that not updated? Another thing they didn't update, you get Apple Music for 6 months on a senior plan. Why isn't that added in? So I have to ask the question, and I'm going to let you have the floor. Are they just not taking a care in this marketplace for these senior citizens, or is this just because there's no interest, or maybe it's they could lose more customers by these senior citizens signing over to this plan? What is your takeaway from this?
So what you just showed me is that the FAQ says there's more details than the actual plan says there is, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just checking. Sorry. Yes, these are additional. So here, I'll pull up one more time. This is the base website. This is what you see.
Yeah.
And if you go to the FAQ, this is where you get a little bit more of a breakdown.
Okay, sure. So what?
Oh, and you do get ultra wideband. I'm sorry. They give you access to ultra wideband.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way for the networks to say you either get, I don't know if they can decipher like 5G, if they can break it down into mid-band, band, high-band users. I think would be complicated for the users to be able to like educate on that and for them to actually control it. So if they say 5G is allowed, that it's all whatever 5G they have access to. The other thing I want to say is lots of times, and I've run into this a ton, I'm sure you will too, and my team at Whistle has run into it a bunch as well, is that these websites so massive. There are so different drop downs, different links, and blah 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 blah. That whenever they update, and sometimes they forget to update different sections and different parts of the website. So I don't think they're trying to trick people. I just think someone dropped the ball and got to update different parts of the site, and so there's different information in different places. That's my gut instinct.
No, yeah, they need to update it because if they were to put those few little things on the website, it would make a big difference and convince some seniors to switch over. Because if you look at this at plain view, they're going to think, oh, I'm not getting 5G. And you know how the 55 and older community, some of them they go off of what they see. They're not like how me and you are. We're a lot more savvy to the marketing. Right. We don't get fooled easily by the small print. I'm just saying, in a marketing perspective, that's something you want to put on the website. But even then, there's no benefits here. Like where most plans, they give you Disney Plus or something. At least here they say you do get 6 months of Apple Music, which is fair. But it's again, and here's the thing that I didn't mention. This page that I'm showing you has been the same page that they've had up since 2018. It's been 3 years, and they have not updated this website in 3 years.
So here's my other thought on that, is that potentially Verizon is not focused on offering decent plans to senior citizens. And there could be multiple reasons for that. One, they make more money putting their marketing and advertising into their name brands, their flagship, you could say. And they charge more for that. They make more money. Secondly, I don't know if many senior citizens are actually out there looking for senior plans necessarily. So for instance, my parents could both be on a 55 and plus plan, but we're on a family plan instead, which ends up being even cheaper than a 55 and plus plan. So there's the factors that go into that, but instinct, if this page hasn't been updated for 3 years, Verizon just doesn't care, and they're putting their bandwidth, they're putting their manpower into other parts of their marketing and advertising to get more money, be my guess. They're just not focused on the 55 plus community.
I think it's sad. I think that it's a shame because those are your long-term customers. Those are the ones that you're never going to lose. Mm-hmm. You would want to take care of them in a sense. You would want to cater to them, give them top priority, just like what T-Mobile's doing, where even if T-Mobile does have bad cellular plans, and meaning like performance, the elderly senior citizens are not going to care. They're with them for the long term. They're with the long goal. They're going to be because they trust them. So by adding more value for them, it gives them a more sense that they're being treated fairly. So that's why I give a lot more respect to T-Mobile, because they're doing their plans better, in my opinion, than Verizon and at&t. And at&t, they do have 55, but again, limited to Florida. But I think it is rolled out a little bit more widely than Verizon, I think. Yeah. So at least they're making more progress.
Sure. I just don't know. I think potentially with T-Mobile making this big step in their plans, I think the other carriers might catch up. But my gut instinct is just that the other carriers don't care that much, or for those customers specifically. And the other thing I want to mention too is carriers oftentimes aren't worried about keeping customers. I mean, if you look at the deals they offer, it's to get people to switch, and they just have it's all about the switch. It's not about holding. And so I think that's another reason why lots of carriers put the effort into getting 55 plus over, is because they might just find more value in getting people to switch. And I wonder if they don't find senior citizens or 55 switching all that often.
Nah, I wouldn't think they would. I wouldn't say they would be switching from one carrier to the other because, again, it comes with the long-term goal. The seniors are going to want to stay with what they like. That's just how it is. They're stubborn. My father's a prime example. And
Same.
We can agree on that. That's all that matters. But yeah, that's where I stand on that. I'm hoping that they do pick up the slack a little bit. I am hoping in a sense that they do continue, because I would like to see my mom be paying less for her bill, because I actually been helping out, not just financially, but I've added in a college discount. I've also added in, I believe, what is it? Oh yeah, that mobile home reward. So we have Fios and Cellular, so they give you a $15 off. So that's 25 plus 15, that's 40. Then on top of that, Carlos, when we signed up, gave us a family discount, family and friends discount that you keep on your accounts. So knock another 25. That's going to knock the bill down. So I'm trying to keep my mom from paying more. And then I just got this iPhone, but I'm paying it off myself. So she's never going to touch that.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. Carlos put in the comments that page outdated. Oh, need to update that. There we go. And I think that's just down to, it's just like they're slacking. But I agree with what you're saying. There probably does need to be a bigger push for 55 plus in this world, this whole market. I think it's an untapped revenue that maybe these carriers could look into again.
Absolutely. 100%. All right. Now let's talk about that C-band auction. I think we've said everything we can say about it. I've talked about it. You've talked about it. But a lot of people have been asking, where is it going to impact? Where is this C-band going? Well, my good friend here, who also has been DMing me, I'll be showing his photos that he's sending me for the show. Thank you, PA Tech, for providing these images. I appreciate that. We now have detailed maps of what the C-band purchases are going to affect in the United States. So I was thankful that he sent this not only to me, but to Sneed and others, but I'm grateful that I was able to show them tonight with you. I don't know if you've seen these. You probably have. But if you haven't, we're going to take a look and see where these affect. And we're going to start with AT&T because I know you like AT&T, so I feel it's my obligation to give you your favorite. Don't say I never do anything nice now. All right, let's start up. Man, what is going on with my throat tonight? I think I'm going to need a cough drop. All right, let's start with AT&T. Now, the image is a little blurry. I apologize if you can't make it out, guys, on your end, but this is the actual image. Now, on the side here, these three bars, you have 60 megahertz, 80 megahertz, which is a little bit darker, and then 100 megahertz, which is going to be the strongest. Now, on the map of the United States, you can see that 60 megahertz is deployed here, here, and here, which I think looks to be, I don't know what part of the United States, I don't know. I don't know where that is, but I know it's somewhere lower past Jersey. But everywhere else is being deployed 80 megahertz of C-band. And the only area that I was able to find in this map, now maybe it's because it's blurry, but the only area that's getting 100 megahertz is in the dead spot of Texas. I think if that's, I could be wrong. It could be Houston. I'm not sure, but this is the actual chart of where the C-band auction for what AT&T acquired and what it's going to affect in the United States. What is your reaction?
I mean, it's pretty impressive. Getting that much 60 out there is, or that this is the first time I've seen this map actually. So this is the first. I have not been keeping up with the C-band auction as much as y'all have, but this is really impressive, and I'd love to see that 100 megahertz get a little bit. I'd love to see this blue get darker, rather. However, I think this is a great start. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I think it's great for AT&T because AT&T, in my opinion, I've never talked about them a lot, but when I do talk about them, I do talk very highly, and I
Mhm.
do believe they have very good capacity for their consumers. I do believe they have very good network capacity. I believe they've got great performance, great value with HBO Max, and also AT&T TV, which we will finish the show off later with. But to see the map be nice and blue, very spread out with 80 megahertz, which
Mhm.
is seemingly to be that midpoint because 100 megahertz is the powerhouse. You want that 100 megahertz. I would like to have seen them deploy them more towards Florida, New York, and California because those are the three biggest markets. But I think Houston, right where my mouse is, I think if that's Houston, I'm not sure what part that is, but if that's Houston, that's one of the bigger spots in Texas as well. So it is a good place for them to start. And hopefully they roll it out, like I said, New York,
Yeah.
Florida, California. And then if you want to throw in another one, we'll say Washington.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Now let's take a look at not T-Mobile. To me, T-Mobile is last. We always put them last. Verizon.
Yeah.
I saw your face drop when you saw the blue map. If you thought that was great, if you thought that was a good start, check this out. So,
Oh, wait.
yep, they're not playing. Verizon is going in for the kill. Take a look at this map, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. I don't know, there are 12-year-olds now in the tech world. But if you look at this map, they were not playing. Verizon went in on the C-band auction. They gassed out $51 billion to grab C-band. And look at this map. Now, of course, there are different quadrants since they paid more. They're getting more megahertz as 140, 160, 180, and then 200. But look where the 200 is being deployed. It's
Mhm.
not even like it's half of the United States. It's
Mhm.
not like a quarter, a smudge. They're putting it everywhere. Now, there is a few areas in Florida that they did cover. So up top, like Tampa. So they did get Tampa area. In the New York map, they did cover up north. So that's probably Syracuse and Rochester. Lower Manhattan, it's more 160. So we are getting a decent bump in speed. But everywhere else, this whole quadrant here is 200. And I thought to myself, this can't be true. This can't be true. It seems too good to be real. But then I did some more research. I looked at the breakdown from the spreadsheets that Sneed Mobile Tech had wrote out on his show last night.
Yeah.
And the spreadsheet matched the exact coordinations that PA Tech sent with this chart.
Huh.
So maybe there's some things that are off because eventually they will have to ship because I don't know who's going to utilize 200 megahertz up north.
I was gonna
But
say, yeah, I was gonna say, if we look at the area where the most red is, now I am not super efficient in my geography of where these state lines are without the actual state line. But we got North Dakota, South Dakota, we have a little bit of Idaho in there. We got some Nevada, maybe some Utah, and like the left half of Texas and maybe New Mexico, okay? But minus Texas and minus maybe, no, Las Vegas isn't counted in there. This is a good amount of space that's covered, but there's not a whole lot of density in these areas. And so I don't think a whole ton of people are going to be able to like actually use it because most of the country's population are coasts, right? The Midwest and where this is right here and in the north, I it's great. It's a good amount of coverage. Don't get me wrong. It's just not in a place that I would have imagined Verizon would have spent that amount of money to put it.
yeah, I agree with that because this up part north here, it's there's not a lot of people that are going to take advantage of it. You got Michigan, I believe. I would say if you were going to spread 200 megahertz, you would have to have put it more along this line here, where the hotspot, and then obviously California. We focus on these markets because they're the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
But it surprises me of just how much Verizon went all out. I keep saying T-Mobile. It's surprising to me that they truly did go all out. And Kimon says it best. Verizon got more. They did got more. They spent literally $50 billion just to acquire C-band. Now, keep in mind, this deployment doesn't start till probably next year because there's another auction coming. So they're going to try to grab up even more. Now, whether they're going to do 50 billion again, I don't think so. I'm going to probably cut it down to say maybe 40, maybe 35. They're probably going to invest a little bit in a lot less because it seems like companies are banking on C-band. They're banking on this to be the next big thing. And one of the areas that makes me think why they probably put it up here is because that's a lot of rural land where people don't have really good coverage, but also don't have good internet. Now, as you know, they are trying to do home internet, cellular internet. So by maybe, in my theory, by putting it in these areas that are very desolate, very rural, you can boost home internet sales by using cellular technology. That was my theory. It's possible, we don't know exactly. But another theory that I had was because these markets here, New York, Florida, North Carolina, and upstate, and all over here, since they're established markets, and California and Las Vegas, since they're all established, they don't need that majority of work. The big majority is the rural areas of America where there's low signal, there's not a lot of area for people to have good internet because you're using Cox and Starlink and other providers that come out, and they're not as good. So by being able to put a lot of the heavy spectrum in these areas, my guess would have been they're just covering the acres of land that needs more establishment, but it can open doors for more money flow by going with cellular home internet. I don't know. It's just a theory.
It's a good theory. I mean, if we look at where Starlink was first doing beta testing, it was in the northern half of the United States, southern half of Canada, right along that line. So they could be kind of mimicking how Starlink started their testing and putting out their own coverage there for home internet. And I think that's a really great theory that I didn't think about. So yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, what can I say? 3 years in college and 1 year on the way makes your brain do wonders. I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying for me, I just want to finish. My brain is like a ticking time bomb waiting to go.
I'm so old. I'm 27. My memory's starting to fade. I can't.
Oh, come on. You're not that old. Come on. You're lying. You're capping. You're capping.
I'm joking. I know. I'm solid. We're with you over here.
Well, now that we've seen at&t and Verizon, now let's take a look at T-Mobile. Now, I will say this. We weren't expecting a lot from T-Mobile, Sneed Mobile, Second Eye, and others. We knew they were going to get the bare and the scraps. We knew they were going to get scraps. They have a lot of debt they have to pay off. But we were at least expecting them to target the markets that are very heavy, that they need to work on. Because the biggest problem that they have is capacity. They need to work on capacity. Mm-hmm. So going into this auction, I said they were going to spend about $10 billion. And they did. With money, of course, going down, it was 9.7. So again, they did do exactly what they wanted. But with that said, well, it's taking a little longer to load up here. But
it's dismal. It's not pretty. It's not as pretty and colorful as the other maps.
I was waiting for that. Oh my goodness. Yes, that is T-Mobile C-band purchase. Now, quickly, before I say anything, I will admit they did hit a lot of the big zones, Florida, New York, and they are using 60 megahertz in Maine, I think. But what is this? What is this map? Like literally, I'm not making this up. This is actually what T-Mobile got out of this auction.
Now, here's the thing. If I had $10 billion, I would not spend it on this POS. No, thank you. No, $10 billion could do so much more good than what this is. I mean, I guess I can be happy they got some 40 megahertz spectrum in SoCal where I'm at. So that's cool. I don't like T-Mobile though. So bye.
I don't know what to say. Say what you want about at&t and Verizon. Look, you know what? Let's do like a chronological order here. So let's pull the maps up. Start to see the deterioration. It goes from the greatest to like where are we at this point? So Verizon. Here, let's start with Verizon.
Okay.
Big and red. They got entire America covered. They got up north rural. Okay. at&t. Not as bright red, but it is solidly covered. They're focusing on, I believe it was 80 megahertz. But again,
how much AT&T spend?
I can pull that up for you right here. I actually have.
I just want to compare like the money spent. So T-Mobile spent 10 billion, Verizon spent 51 billion, and then AT&T spent like what, 30, maybe 25.
I'm pulling it up just in 1 second. I'm so sorry. I actually had the tweet, and actually I'm gonna pull it up from Steam Mobile Tech. So shout out to Steam Mobile Tech. He's my go-to for cellular news, and you too. But like I said, I really loved your video on Wi-Fi 6 and 6E, I think it was.
Thanks. Thank you. I was nervous about that one. It looks like it was 23.4 billion.
Yes, you are correct. 23.4 billion.
I just want to say that I guess that's spot on. And so I said between 20 and 25 billion. And I don't know if that means some sort of stand whisperer, but I'm just really stoked that happened for me.
No, yeah.
Thank
and then
you.
you look at this. And you go,
so sad.
Where did we get to this point? See, this is a prime example of what happens when a company spends more money advertising. And even my best friend, Blue Eyed Tech, goes, that map looked sad. Yes, that map looked sad because this is, and people, I don't bash T-Mobile because I want to bash them, but this is a prime example of what happens when you spend more money on marketing than carrying out your coverage and your capacity. And Sherri, if you saw my previous live stream with Steam Mobile Tech when they had the power outages in Texas, I completely lost it. I stopped. I completely just I had it. I was mad at T-Mobile. I said, you spend more time going in one direction versus the other, and you barely have any generators to keep people in Texas safe. You have no way of getting them. If you watch that live stream, I think PA Tech retweeted it. I was pissed off at T-Mobile, and their priorities were not in the right place. And this shows it. They've got so much debt, they couldn't even afford to cover a quarter of the United States. It is patches. Patches.
T-Mobile is like a jock in high school who didn't really turn out to anything at the 10-year reunion. It was like the really cool guy, and then you come back 10 years later, and it's like, okay, no job, great.
I mean, you ain't wrong though. You ain't wrong because it's sad. It is sad because they brag about marketing, but the reality of the situation is they can't perform. They may be the biggest capacity. I thought the whole Sprint and T-Mobile merger would have gotten some good out of it. And the only thing good that came out of it was they were able to get rid of one declining cellular company. That was the only good thing that came out of that because they took on their debt. They said we could pay it, we could do it. They couldn't even afford to get enough from C-band. So I'm disappointed. But anyway, we're almost done with the show. We've got a couple more minutes here. We'll cover up with our last story, but we'll take a quick couple second break here just to discuss Sherri and your channel. So I don't know about you, Sherri, but I've got to be honest with you. When we last spoke, I did say I didn't watch a lot of your channel. Again, it was not intentional. It was just me being busy with school, and I felt really terrible. I really did feel bad. I felt terrible because, I watch everybody who comes on my channel. I watch all their videos. And I felt so embarrassed. I said, you know what? I got to make it up. But I also want to get into her stuff. So I decided to check out Whistle Out. And Whistle Out is probably one of the coolest, if not one of the most unique YouTube channels that I watch. And your editing is far beyond mine. I'm barely even scratching the surface of what I can do as a YouTuber. But your stuff is excellent. From the thumbnails to the literal banner. Hell, your banner is even better than mine.
One thing you do, I would love to take full credit for this, but one thing we do need to keep in mind is Whistle Out is an entire company that has like 30 people in it. So I have designers, I have an editor. It's a full blown business, and so I have lots of help. But yeah, most of this stuff is me and one other person though, so it's been a joy to create. It's been fun.
No, absolutely. We always like to appreciate the secondaries that are behind because, everybody, every Batman needs their Robin. So, but no, they do a lot of miracles though. They behind the scenes, they do a lot of great stuff. And your content for Whistle Out, everything it is great. And one of my favorite videos that we're going to kind of end off here was when you talked about, well, not the end off here, like we're end of, and then we'll get right back to the final story. One of my favorite videos when I was watching, and I love how you got Sneed in on this. Oh man, I gotta watch this one later. But for real, my favorite one was the Wi-Fi 6 plus 6E, the basic overview. In that video, and with your permission, also I gotta mute that because of course YouTube will copyright me. But of course you're the owner, so you give me full. You know what I love about this video is you basically summarized it to the point where even a 5-year-old who watches this could know about Wi-Fi. And that's another thing. I love your intros. I love the way. The thing with your videos is you make them, the camera quality is spot on. Your edits are nice. These little things, these are things I've been trying to get for years, and I just discovered about them. So I need to talk to you backstage later. How do I get all this stuff? Because But also, yes, I'm giving it a like. But I loved how you broke down Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 6E. I do use Wi-Fi 6. I have the Verizon Wi-Fi 6 router, and I didn't even know about 6E until your video. You broke everything down. And, you know, you got 99 problems, but Wi-Fi 6 and 6E ain't one of them. So you did a fabulous job. And I got to say, Sherri, this is one of my favorite videos. And I tell everybody, anybody that comes on my show, you have to check out these users. I don't bring people on just for show. I bring them on because they bring something to the table. I always strive to get the best on my show. And Sherri is one of the best out there. So you got to check her out. And look, you know, people always say, oh, she's bigger than you, or this guy's bigger than you. Why are you doing that? Guys, a number doesn't define somebody's heart. That's just the way it is.
Much. I appreciate the love. This is awesome. Thank you.
No, absolutely. And this dude here wants a PS5 review. I don't know what his deal is, but hey, if you want a PS5 review, go watch somebody else. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to push anybody away.
No, it's fine. We gave a PS5 of December, and it was a huge campaign that we ran, and we gave a PS5 to a random person. We read up applications anyway, and then everyone who didn't win started thinking it was like a scam, and then I got like threats. Now it's still like following, like people are still angry and they think it was fake, and it's like no matter what I say, everyone thinks it's fake. So the hate are following from that. That's okay. They can hate all they want.
haters need love somewhere. Little gremlins. That's what I call them. Gremlins.
Gremlins. This brings back peace and happiness in his life. Whatever. I'll hold that for him. I'll hold that space for him.
For one more day, you give him a little peace in mind. Just one more. But anyway, we're reaching the final threshold of our show, and it has been a joy to do this right now. I'm really thrilled again that you've come with me this far, Sherri. So thank you once again for making it on with me tonight. Thank you guys for watching, but we're not done just yet. We do have one more quick final story, and we're going to finish it up. Let's talk about the cellular home internet market. So I wanted to end there because apparently there's a lot of talk about Starlink. People are talking about Elon Musk's new company using, his base and a lot of hype about Starlink. But at the same breath, looking at those maps and then putting the patterns together with where they want to push home internet with cellular, it got me thinking a little bit about Verizon, T-Mobile, and all these other carriers. So as you know, Verizon Fios is dubbed the king of home internet. The fiber optic cannot be beat. And a lot of people are saying that ultra wideband 5G could be the next game changer because it could reach speeds similar because, of course, it's millimeter wave. Mm-hmm. But, of course, you have to be very close, and it's going to take a long stretch hold before we get ultra wideband expanded. Mm-hmm. But thinking back about 5G wireless technology and thinking about the potentials that we've been talking about for years, I guess my final story and my final question is, where do you see the future of home internet going? Are we going to see cellular companies stick with their fiber optic market, or are they going to start deviating away to cellular? Because Verizon and Verizon Wireless, Fios and Wireless are starting to become separate. Even though they are in the same threshold, it seems like they're starting to go two different routes. because beforehand they were all about the fiber optics. But now, since this 5G home internet's come out, they spent less time advertising on the cellular end, the fiber optics, and pushing gigabit speeds with 5G, ultra wideband performance. So my final question, and then we'll take it from there. I'm going to pull up here the website for Verizon, and then we could talk about other carriers that could get their name in here, just like T-Mobile, AT&T. What is the future for home internet?
So I want to start out with a little story, shall we? So there was this TikTok that went viral. It had millions of views about a week ago. It was that theme of people responding to another video, and it was, tell me one thing that you know that's illegal, that you think that nobody else knows, or something stupid like that, right? So one chick, she answers and she goes, I don't have cable in my area, I don't have fiber in my area, and satellite's expensive and slow. So you know what you can do? You can get a home cellular Wi-Fi plan from like T-Mobile thing it was, and it's blown up. And so I think fiber is still going to continue to be a thing, and I think most people should strive for fiber. However, the satellite internet is expensive. I just went to Starlink's website to pretend to almost buy Starlink because I wanted to see what the cost would be. It would come out to almost $1,000 up front to get Starlink internet. You have to buy the satellite, you have to pay for like a month in advance or whatever. All the cost starts adding up with Starlink. So although initially Starlink is like a fun, neat idea, you get decent speeds in places you normally wouldn't get it. Some internet based off of a cellular network, getting like a hotspot, modem, router, whatever, putting in a SIM card and just using a data only is, I think, going to be the future of what lots of people are going to see in the next, in the foreseeable future, like five or so years. It's going to become a much bigger thing than it is now. I think it's going to beat out satellite. I think it's going to beat out Starlink 100%. And then it's just going to take a second for fiber to catch up. But right now, what is super easy, especially with this new C-band release, is that we're going to see more coverage. And you made that good point with Verizon. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's in the boonies. And I think that they're going to try and push to those people and to those families, households, home internet with more super fast Wi-Fi. So I think we're going to see home cellular internet become more of a thing than satellite will.
Absolutely. And if you look at the pricing for the home internet with autopay, it starts out with $70 a month. And
Done.
if you have a mobile plan, it goes down to $50. So that's a $20 decrease right there. Of course, you are paying for your mobile plan, of course. But again, you will get a lot of perks by going in this route. And if you guys haven't seen ultra wideband 5G, I encourage you guys to check out Speed Test and check out Sherri's channel and check out Sneed's channel. They talk about it in great details. They talk about it more than I ever will. So I would say check out the potential for ultra wideband. And I agree, fiber optic, when I'm playing games, when I'm doing YouTube videos, when I'm doing anything, fiber optic needs to be the internet preference of choice. Because when I'm playing Call of Duty, I don't want to be lagging and then all of a sudden it just says game over. Because when you lag out too much, the game just like ends the game for everybody. Then it lags you out, goes into another party. So I'm sticking with fiber optic. When I'm playing 2K, I want my downloads in 5 minutes. And I get my downloads. I want my Opal, Galaxy Opal. I want my diamond packs. Hell, I want my amethyst maybe. So I need that stuff in 5 minutes. And that's just 2K, my team. That we're even taking into consideration my park and others. But the point is, fiber optic can never be beat, in my opinion. But, like you said, there is potential for it to grow. There is potential for it to expand. And of course, being up north is going to be the moneymaker for a lot of these people that can't access. I do start to see more and more ultra wideband towers being expanded up there, and maybe extenders to attach to those towers. I don't know how that's going to work, because with it being so small, you have to be so close. How do you get access to that? I don't know if they're going to use DSS, because if I remember correctly, with Verizon and T-Mobile, both of them, they're doing the layer cake. That's a stupid thing. They're using basically 3 different sets. So set 1 is millimeter wave. That's ultra wideband for Verizon. Now T-Mobile, they're just starting with millimeter wave. Gee, what took you so long? Then you've got mid-band, which will be obviously C-band, I believe it is. Am I correct on saying that?
I believe so. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because a lot of people hound me in the comment section for that, so I have to make sure I'm on point. But then, of course, you've got Sub 6, which is really the one that T-Mobile is banking on. And that's the one that they want to use for their home internet. And right now, T-Mobile Tech is on a trial with T-Mobile Home Internet using, I don't know what he's using. I don't know if he's using mid-band or Sub 6, but they're getting throttled right away. They're getting huge throttlings, he said. He already started seeing it. So I think for me, if I'm Verizon, because their DSS 5G is... I mean, it's fast at times, but it's not as fast as LTE when you do some comparisons. But if I was Verizon or any carrier, I think I would start out with mid-band. I would start with mid-band. Sub 6 would have to be, only way I would use Sub 6 is if there's going to be a deprioritization. So you use each different layers to kind of boost your customers up and down depending on their usage. And I guess Sub 6 would just spread out the acre. But then again, the speeds wouldn't really be like they're advertising. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I think the reason the carriers went about doing it the way they did is saying, they wanted to bang. They wanted to say, look what 5G can do. And they released high band in a few places, and it was like, okay, cool, crickets, what now? And then we had to wait until there was like a low band out, and like that was less than impressive. And now we're now waiting on this mid band to come out, which was very impressive, just not quite. Band. But yeah, they did it in a way, I think, to be the town, to be the cool new thing, to be like, wow, when you just wasn't, it's just not what was widely acceptable for the frame. But we're going to see it. We're going to see it. It's going to take, I think, possible.
No, yeah, I cannot wait to see when it fully gets expanded. I cannot wait to see the potential of, of the DSS taking lift, because right now, currently on my iPhone 12 Pro Max, I'm on DSS 5G, and I can do a quick speed test here, and I will tell you right now, if I switch it over to LTE, it's going to be about a little bit faster in certain areas, because right now I'll show you the speed test results in just a second, but I will say they are incredibly fast. They are incredibly fast than usual. But would it be as fast as LTE? We're going to find out later.
Right.
But last thing before we end the show, a couple of announcements and then my final roundup of the show. Real quick to my viewers watching me tonight, unfortunately, there will be no Technoid episodes for the rest of the weekend. I'm a little bit busy, these guys, so tonight's episode will be the last for the weekend, but you can replay and watch my previous episodes from the show before, so you can watch on catch up, and I'll be back on Monday. Number 2, I guess my last one to end the night, and then we can kind of just clock it out. And here is my results real quick, if you can see that. That's DSS 5G, 243.18.5.
Nice.
So while I end the show and you kind of give off the send-off, my final question of the night, and then we're done, is where does Cellular go from here? Now that the C-band auction is over, now that everything is settled in, we've seen the charts, we've seen what was going on. What can you make, if you were to give a prediction, in your humbled opinion, if you had to make a solid prediction, what you see happening for now till the end of 2021, what carrier do you think is going to have the biggest improvement based upon all of the spectrum that they've acquired, in your opinion?
Who's going to have the biggest glow up, rather? I think T-Mobile is going to create a name for itself that it hasn't before. I think T-Mobile's constantly been trying for coverage with T-Mobile and Verizon, and T-Mobile, at&t always going back and forth. But I think with all of this new coverage and auction that at&t is required and that T-Mobile hasn't, it's going to put at&t leagues above T-Mobile. And honestly, the Verizon is king. We're not going to see, but everyone expects Verizon to be the best, and they will continue to be the best, especially with this new acquisition. But I think at&t is going to have the biggest glow up. And the last thing I'll say is, with the economy the way it is right now, we're seeing a lot of budget plans come out. We're seeing a lot of different unlimited plans come out that are more budget friendly than they ever have been. And I continue to see that trend. I think we'll continue to see cheaper plans with more data, what T-Mobile has done, what Mint Mobile has done, and also S-Mobile came out with new plans too that are more data, less money. So I think we're going to see that continue through the end of 2021 as well.
I think so. I get AT&T's perspective. I don't think I'm going to comment on Verizon. I would like to see T-Mobile, but knowing what they've been doing, I don't think we're going to see a big improvement. I think we're just going to see a lot more. So I'm going to bank on with you. I'm going to go with AT&T as well because I do want to see some stride put on them. They just did a separate with DirecTV. They kind of just like went part ways now. T-Mobile broke the news, and that's kind of where we're at now. So they're doing their own thing, and I'm hoping to see AT&T kind of boost it up. It seems like they're going in a more different direction, and hopefully it works out for them.
Yeah, definitely.
I think here's the final results. So the LTE is on the top, 222 versus 243. So it is a little bit faster, and the upload is faster. So the 5G does work here in New York. So that's a good positive to know.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think AT&T most improved. Verizon will continue to be the MVP, and T-Mobile will get the award for showing up, and that's that.
They get the participation award.
Yeah, they're there. Exist.
And with that said, we are done.
Cool.
Our show has come to an end. We did an hour. It is great. So once again, everybody, I'm going to end the show here. Before you guys run off, before everybody leaves, I want to thank all of you for watching. I want to thank Sherri, our guest, for coming on tonight. Thank you for taking your time out to help make the Technoid show what it is. We appreciate you. I hope to see you again soon in the near future. As always, everyone, if you enjoy the live streams, make sure you hit the like button. If you dislike the live streams, you can hit that dislike button because guess what? It helps circulate my videos, so you're helping me in the benefit. Also, guys, make sure to click the notification button. I cannot urge you guys. YouTube is not notifying you when I upload. I have had several users comment to me on Twitter, so please hit the notification bell when I upload. And lastly, everyone, have a safe night. Have a great weekend. I will see you all on Monday for a new episode of Technoid. Sherri, thank you for coming on. Have a great night, everybody, and peace.